Hi everyone, and welcome back to our videos on the CAPS document. So in our last video, we went over the background of the CAPS document and the introduction. Today, we're looking at the next section, which is, of course, time allocation. Now, these first few pages you need to worry about because that's foundation phase and intermediate phase. What you are interested in is the time allocation in the FET phase, which means that in home language, you are going to spend 4.5 hours per week on English. Now, when we get to the proposed lesson planning, you will see that the learning cycle is organized in a 2-week time frame. So we use 2-week cycles, and we will therefore have 9 hours approximately of learning in English. Now, you will see English, home language, mathematics are the subjects that are weighted the most heavily in terms of time spent per week. And then the other 3 subjects have 4 hours each, and then LO has 2 hours each. Okay, so our next section is introducing the languages. So languages in the National Curriculum and Assessment Policy Statement. Language is a thoughtful tool and communication. It is also a cultural and aesthetic means commonly shared among people to make better sense of the world they live in. So we have over here the importance of language, and then we have the language levels. So we teach home language level. Now, what that means is when teaching English at a home language level, we need to teach language proficiency that reflects the mastery of basic interpersonal communication skills required in social situations and the cognitive academic skills essential for learning across the curriculum. Emphasis is placed on the teaching of the listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills at this language level. This level also provides learners with a literary, aesthetic, and imaginative ability that will provide them with the ability to recreate, imagine, and empower their understandings of the world they live in. However, the emphasis and weight for listening and speaking from grades 7 onwards are lower than those of the reading and writing skills. So what they are saying there is the emphasis is on the higher order skills. So listening, speaking, reading, and writing, but the listening and speaking are emphasized less than the reading and writing skills. And the reason for this is, as a home language learner, the learner should have acquired sufficient proficiency in grades R to 7 that what we are doing is more extension work rather than, in fact, focusing on the basics of speaking and listening. We are going to now develop reading and writing skills. Of course, I'm sure you all know that one of the great difficulties that is going to come in is that a lot of the learners you are teaching are not, in fact, English home language speakers. So you do have to be mindful, and it is a difficult task ahead of you in that you need to balance what are the requirements of teaching English at an English home language level with the abilities of the students who are in fact English second language or even third language. So that is what language enables learners to do. Acquire the language skills required for academic learning across the curriculum. Listen, speak, read, view, and write present the language with confidence and enjoyment. These skills and attitudes form the basis for lifelong learning. Use language appropriately, taking into account audience, purpose, and context. Express and justify orally and in writing their own ideas, views, and emotions confidently in order to become independent and analytical thinkers. Use language and their imagination to find out more about themselves and the world around them. This will enable them to express their experience and findings about the world orally and in writing. Use language to access and manage information for learning across the curriculum and in a wide range of other contexts. Information literacy is a vital skill in the information age and forms the basis for lifelong learning. And use language as a means for critical and creative thinking, expressing their opinions on ethical issues and values, for interacting critically with a wide range of texts, for challenging the perspectives, values, and power relations embedded in texts, and for reading texts for a variety of purposes such as enjoyment, research, and critique. And yeah, that's all you have to do when you are teaching a language. So yes, we do have quite a heavy burden on us as language teachers. Apart from anything else, you'll notice the very first point, acquire the language skills required for academic learning across the curriculum. Essentially, it is up to us to teach the learners enough to acquire language skills that are going to enable them to be successful in all the other subjects, because all the other subjects are going to require them to listen and speak, to read and write, etc. So if they don't have those language skills that we are developing in English, then they're going to suffer in every other subject. And once again, the reason why you want to know all of these skills is because you want to be able to look at the lessons you are planning, look at the ways in which you are teaching, and hold them up against what are our specific aims? Why are we teaching these things in English class? So although you are not going to be looking at this page of the CAPS every single day, it is a good idea during your teaching career to every now and again come back and evaluate your own lessons and the way you're teaching against these aims.